Hello everybody. So, this is going to be a what if that, to be honest, I think will be interesting because, one, you're not going to probably see this as much as more of a For Honor, artwork really. Honestly, I gotta hand it to the person that made this. This is amazing. I like it a lot. Shout out to them because they make great art. I like it. Now, to begin with, I personally, the characters I play in For Honor are everyone but Shigoki. Obvious reasons. Now I don't play, who is it? I don't play a lot of Vikings either, but I like For Honor a lot, and this is going to be something I'm going to use. So, basically, I'm going to make it that Deku, he was one of the first people who had quirks, and basically what he is going to have is called a type of quirk called reincarnation. He is reincarnated 6 times, wielding every type of weapon in Japanese history. He has wielded the mallet like Shigoki, the sword like Orochi, going into the that huge ass sword Kensai has, and then the staff like Nabushi. Yes, he's turned into a woman, and he's also been a shinobi with those the sais, or whatever you call them. I can't remember. And then he's gone back to the dual wielding swords. His last incarnation was with dual wielding swords, and basically Deku is an all master of martial arts, and this is his 7th reincarnation, which is Deku. Now, Deku, I would say that he, back then, quirks were kind of known as, like, skills and stuff like that. They weren't really big because everyone had one in some way. They either could create blades out of, not swords, but out of, metal or something that's like, bamboo, plants, wood, stuff like that. And that was like a common thing almost. It was well known, like a lot of people had this kind of thing, and they were in like certain dynasties. I can't remember. Certain clans, I would say. And it's really interesting. I wouldn't say dynasties, but clans, yeah. So, yeah. Now here's the thing. Seeing how Deku's been every type of swordsman, he's been in every type of fighting style. He's created a few of his own fighting styles, like the Armusha. And I'm going to say that Deku, what he has accomplished throughout his life was that he was able to figure out how to, out of those many lives, he's able to figure out that life is something that you can't just take away. And that was kind of something he figured out as the Armusha, and the Shinobi was his way of seeking intel, being faster than he ever was before, and he's kind of been in all places and aspects of how everyone feels and all that, so he's got an interesting quirk. Now, to everyone else, everybody thinks he's quirkless, and I would say he doesn't reveal his quirk because it wouldn't make sense, and he also wants to keep low-key. So I would say that when Bakugo starts bullying him, Deku, what he does is he says, fight me. If you want to settle it out and see who's more stronger than the other, fight me. And so what happens is that Bakugo takes up him on the offer. And every time Bakugo throws the explosion, he dodges it. Deku just straight up dodges it. Like it's so easy that he just does it. And Deku, he's worked out a lot at his younger age. He's worked out to the point where you wouldn't really think a kid like him would work out. He's hide his muscles quite well. He meditates quite frequently, and he is very, very much praying like a lot. Now, here's the thing. Seeing how Deku's specialized in every type of sword weapon that's pretty much known as like old and ancient almost, yeah, Deku's pretty powerful. Now comes the fun part. So, Deku, he's used kunais, shurikens, he's used all kinds of things. He's mastered in smoke bombs, fighting. He's able to know how to use, in a sense, tactical fighting, I would say. Like, he's just a master in unarmed combat and armed with a sword and stuff. he's fast, he's brilliant, he's able to pretty much deflect anything. Yeah, I would say that he's at the same speed as Genji when it comes down to deflecting a bullet. His eyes are that tuned with like how things flow and stuff like that. So he's able to deflect stuff. And that's kind of terrifying if you think about it. Because if you think, just imagine a guy pulls out a revolver, he's like, you're not going to survive this, bang. Deku takes a regular knife, ding, right back at you in this freaking neck. Oh, that'd be so cool. Anyways, let's get to it. So, what is Deku going to be doing? Oh, he is going to do something interesting. So, seeing how he beat Bakugo, and when I mean beat him, I mean he literally just tapped him on the back and he fell over. Now, Bakugo, he keeps on trying to get better. He learns boxing, he learns all kinds of things, and I'd say that Deku still beats him, no matter what. Now, he beats him using different types of fighting styles, because his body may be young, so he can't really, like, go full out like he used to back in his old days. So I'm going to say that Deku's like 25% of what he used to be when he was a like an Armusha. And like Armusha was his best yet ever fighting style that he created. And I would say that would be probably the most, it's basically the best way of putting it. Yeah, it's his best fighting style that requires no brute force for everything. So, and unarmed combat wise, it's Shinobi. But when it comes down to how things are as swords and all that, it's Armusha. When it comes down to poisons and stuff like that, and antidotes, it's Nobushi. Because if you don't know, in like the actual game, she used like poison stuff, so that was cool. And traps and stuff like that. So yeah, Nobushi, he was good as a trapper at that time. As a commander, he was great as a Kensei. And then as a swift and quick, almost like quick, like an assassin, really. Well, more of a quick fighter with, I would say, mixing up attacks and stuff like that. I would say he was great with Orochi. I don't know what Orochi and Shigoki would be. Probably like brute force and quickness. I don't know. But yeah, he excelled mostly after the two. And what do you think happened? Well, this is simple. So Deku, when finally the fighting gets caught on, parents are called, all that, and it's not really fighting because kids were videoing it and they saw that Deku didn't even touch him really. He just dodged the attacks, and I'd say Deku's not in trouble at all. It's mostly Bakugo, because it's gotten that bad. Like, Bakugo is seriously pushing himself, and his arms are kind of just like, they've been sprained a lot because he's training so much. His explosions have gotten bigger, and it's just that bad. Now, what's going to happen for the Sludge one and the rest of the thing? Well, it's going to be simple. So, seeing how Deku has fought people with certain abilities like that, I would say he fought a trash monster thing. And I'd say most myths like that were because of quirks. So I would say that if you heard of a guy who was an Oni who had a disturbing face, he was kind of like, he kind of had a quirk. It was a mutation quirk. And that was basically it. So what's going to happen with the Sludge one? Simple. Deku just fools on runs extremely fast. Now, if you don't know, you know the Shinobi running, the running that, like, the Naruto run, everybody knows about it. That's actually a real thing, and how it works is you're leaning downwards, so, like, imagine this. Imagine leaning forward, like you're about to fall, but running while doing that. And the kind of, like, the arms and the back is kind of just, like, speed going on, and you're just trying to be, like, aiming downwards. It's a way to increase your speed a little bit, but also not use too much stamina. Now, what ends up happening is basically this. Deku, what he does is he pretty much just runs off. He is unable to be touched by the sludge villain. And that kind of surprises him, because he's wondering if this is a quirk or if it's some kind of training he's done. And I'd say that's when he kind of chases after him in the streets, and Deku's kind of just, like, moving through, like, all kinds of stuff. Like, it doesn't even, like, this is nothing to him. And it's pretty much it isn't, because he's trained even harder than this. He's trained with about 20 pounds on his legs while hanging from his apartment, and, well, with one arm. And he's changed that after 60 minutes. So yeah, he does that at night, though, so no one notices. And that's how good his arm strength is. And grip strength. Because you're going to have insane grip for later on. Now, for what happens next is this. Deku, will he be overpowered like crazy? Oh, big time. Because guess what he does? Get this. So All Might comes in hot on his trail, punches the sludge on, gathers the sludge, gets out of there while Deku's running away still. And I'm going to say that a lot of other heroes tried to come over and help out, but All Might was the only one that did it. And actually, you know what? No, All Might didn't do it. I would say Endeavor did it. And I would say All Might gets there, kind of like searching for the sludge zone, saying it got away from him, etc. And he couldn't really catch up to it. And I would say a lot of people are weirded out by this because they just saw a kid break off running like crazy, extremely fast. And I would say people are like even saying like, "Hey, All Might, yeah, that kid, it was chasing a kid who was running like faster than it could even keep up with." And a lot of heroes were going like, yeah. Sorry about that. Just someone interrupted. That's all. Anywho, what's gonna go on is simple. Deku, he's going to basically. Sorry, I forgot after the disturbance. I'm gonna say that for UA exam, I'm gonna go straight to that because he kind of just disappeared. For the UA exam, he pretty much just nails it. Information-wise, like all kinds of like tactics, stuff like that. He nails that, like I would say 95, like in the 90% better. So like not 99, no 100. We'll go with 100. Screw it, 100%. And reason being is because he's had so many lifetimes, and it works. And yeah. Armusha, kind of like the Armusha fighting style there, was kind of his wanderer, so there's that. The rest were all government jobs and living alone, kind of like from society stuff. And Shigoki was kind of like a sumo thing, and, well, Orochi was his first job as a military soldier. And then went into, I'm going to say this maybe as a sex reincarnation. No, we're going seventh. Screw it. I can't remember if it's at 6 or 7 that's unlucky, but it's one of the two. Anyhow, let's continue. So, Deku, what he does is for the practical exam, because we gotta go with the practical. What happens in the practical is simple. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something real quick. If no one remembers this, I swear to God, I feel bad for you. But I remember this because I watched the anime kind of religiously because I was trying to analyze information and stuff. But there was, I think, another part. There was a physical exam before the practical exam. And that physical exam was basically when this guy who could levitate with, I think, tornadoes or something, left thinking, oh, I'm too good for you, or I guess, or something. But yeah, it was some type of physical exam. And I would say Deku passes that. He nails that easily because of how much physical training he's done. Like, if you want to put it in terms you'll understand, he is on a hero level strength. And he's not even done training. And what is going to happen now is simple. He kind of sees this as, like, good training, like a good jog or whatever. Because his speed passed Ida, like, passed a lot of people. And what's going to happen next is simple. Deku, for the practical exam, he's going to have to take down robots. And how does he do it? Oh, boy. He does it the most coolest way possible. He takes out a simple, but yet awesome, weapon. And that weapon is simple. It is not a kunai. It's not even that, but it's, well, not really a weapon. He takes it from, like, the rubble and stuff. Basically, it's a, I'm going to be impressed by this. It's a pipe. It's a freaking pipe. Yeah. Remember, he was a shinobi, and that's, like, ninjutsu, so... Yeah, he learned ninjutsu. And what's going to happen? Oh, it's simple. He pretty much just takes down a bunch of robots just with that bar and with his own hands. Ripping through it and stuff like that. Kicking its head in, stuff all like that. Now, if you're wondering what kind of kid Deku was, because that's a plot hole, he was basically a quiet but yet weird kid. Because he was always analyzing stuff. He liked to read. Loved to read, actually. He was really loving in reading. He loved reading so much. Now, for when it comes down to what Deku does in, when it comes down to history-wise, Deku pretty much left a lot of marks in history as a commander who did a lot of stuff for Japan, conquering a lot of other clans and stuff like that. Being known in the books somewhere. I'm just going to make it up, but I don't know much about Japanese history like that. I'm just going to say that he was a part of a cherry tree clan that got wiped out after he died, like, several other times. After his Nobushi death, well, when he was in Nobushi, he found out his clan died, and it was just that. Orochi was his, like, the first leader. Kensai was the second leader, and the third leader led it to destruction, so, yeah. So yeah, that's going to be basically what it is. Actually, better yet, Shigoki was the first leader, then Orochi was second, then third, and then the fourth just totally totaled it. Complete idiot, really. And better yet, I'm going to say the fifth leader totaled it, and Bushi found out about that later. So what's going to happen with Deku and the robots? Yeah, he just destroys them, and the huge one, the zero-pointer, Deku saves the rocket before it can land its foot down on her. So, yeah, Deku, he runs fast out of there, and people are wondering what his quirk is, and they find out he's quirkless, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's so cool! But yeah, time for the fun to begin. So, what's going to happen with Deku? Well, he's obviously going to get accepted. Physical exam when he comes into class 1A, what is he going to do? Simple. He is going to get a bunch of people talking to him, and they're asking, what is this quirk, what is this quirk? And he just says he's quirkless. And everybody's just like, wait a minute, like, how are you quirkless? There's no way, you outran Ida. And everybody's just wondering this, and they're just like, you know what, screw it. He doesn't want to tell us, I don't care. And what ends up happening is this. When Deku, he goes to do the whole exam, Aizawa says, time for all of you to do the quirk assessment thing. Well, not quirk. Well, yeah, I think it would be the quirk assessment thing. And just, like, you know, get the whole thing out of the way, really. Now, what happens is simple. Deku, he does something interesting. He beats down on so many. He doesn't beat down, but he destroys everything, pretty much. His strength, it's all about technique, so he kind of just nails everything. When it comes down to the, running test, easy. When it comes down to the strength test, easy. When it's the, long jump, he got top. But when it's ball throw, that's where the interesting thing happened. Deku, he throws it very well, And he throws it with, like, Shigoki strength. And well, not with Shigoki strength, but with, like, the kind of technique he would use for it. And what he does is he kind of, like, uses a lot of density and just pure strength to kind of throw it, and gets, I would say, 5th. Now, everybody else is just, like, wowed at this point. They don't care if he messed up on the ball throw. It's just, they're amazed that he even did what he did. And Aizawa was, like, using his quirk on Deku, thinking it's some kind of enhancement quirk. And is it? No. So, yeah, everybody's amazed by this. And would it all might be suspicious of Deku because of how he ran throughout the entire, like, thing? Yes, he would. Because that running is a little too interesting. And what's going to happen? Well, simple. He pretty much gets, I say Minyeta gets expelled. And what I'm going to do is simple. Deku is, he's top of his class. Everybody's just amazed that he's actually quirkless, because Aizawa would say, you got outdone by a quirkless kid. And then everybody just looks at Deku and just like, yeah, he's quirkless. I didn't even know that. Well, okay, then he wasn't lying. At least we know he's no liar. So yeah, Deku, he didn't lie about it. And what happens? Well, let's see. Deku nailed it. Now, for what's going to happen next, like, let's see here, the USJ, you're going to just have to wait and find out. This is, what if Deku had I would say, one of the first quirks. So, yeah, have a good day and a good night. Catch you later. Peace out.